Hey guys, I'm back for the month 9 vlog. Of course, in the last vlog I said it was month 9, but apparently I can't do math at 1:30 in the morning, so I apologize for that. So what is today? Today is October the, I believe, 13th? Yeah, October 13th. Current time is just before 11:30 p.m. And I thought I would do at least a quick vlog to let you guys know what's going on with my weight loss journey. For those that haven't been following from the start, I had vertical sleeve gastrectomy surgery on January the 11th, 2021. Again, today is October 13th, 2021. And so the journey actually started back on December 28th, 2020. So let's talk about the last month. What's changed? Has anything changed? Um, well, I mean, I do have some good news. Not really any bad news, but let's talk about it. Robert, what do you mean? You always have good news and some bad news. You don't have bad news. No, let's just talk about it. All right. I guess in terms of the bad news, the cravings are still there. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day, but I've noticed that my composure and my ability to say no to certain things, to certain cravings, has over time really strengthened. Just like tonight, I noticed that the Pasta Brothers food truck was at my apartment complex. And I've always wanted to try them. I haven't tried them, obviously, because that's not necessarily low carb and it's not really on my diet, and it's just but if you followed some of my earlier vlogs, my weakness is pasta and pizza and all the the really bad stuff. But I had a moment of where it's like, it wouldn't hurt, would it? And then I stopped myself, like, no, we're not going down this road. We're not, because this goes back to my second vlog, where I walk into Wawa and I'm smelling the food and the triggers hit. And to me, my only defense was grab your Gatorade Zero and get out. And that's kind of the mindset that I put myself in tonight. It's like, okay, they're over there. I got to go home. I've got this to do and I got that to do. So I clouded my brain with other things that I needed to do in order to avoid that situation. And that's a small victory. Now, that being said, there's a lot of small victories every day that I'm running into, which is good. A small victory here, a small victory there. I mean, it adds up over time. But I think what is challenging the most is now I've gotten to the phase of the weight loss where it's really slowed. And it's not from poor diet, it's not from not exercising, it's just the fact that I've gotten to the point of where it's taking more and more effort to burn the calories that I need in order to sustain a very fast weight loss. And in my brain I know that, but it's still a bit disheartening whenever you've been working hard all week and you've done everything right, and and I've mentioned this time and time again, but it never goes away. And I think I'm telling you that because I want you to understand that this is going to happen to you. If anyone losing weight, regardless of if you have a surgery or not, you're gonna run into this. You're gonna hit this wall of where what you did before is no longer working, and you've got to continue to modify, whether it be hopefully not eating less, because remember, you don't want to go into starvation mode, and you want to make sure you're consuming and staying healthy. But you don't want to develop an eating disorder. I mean, you've already cleaned up one mess by starting your weight loss endeavor, but you don't want to make things worse. You don't want to compound that. You don't want to take something good and something healthy and turn it around and flip it and do something bad, like develop an eating disorder. You don't want that. So you want to make sure that you're still consuming enough to stay alive, but also you got to realize that beforehand you were burning more calories doing a specific workout. Well, you're not burning as many calories now because you've lost so much weight. And so again, that is a mental block, and I think that's where a lot of people start to fail because they're used to losing so much at a rapid pace, and then once it stalls, they feel like I'm doing something wrong, I'm sabotaging myself, and then it goes into like a whole. I mentioned mental gymnastics before that they're still there, even 9 months, they're still there. Um, you fall into this. I don't want to say depression, but this thought, well, it's just not working out. I just, I'm over it. There's some folks out there, I'm sure, that get to that phase and then they stop and then they relapse and go back to the way things were. And that's when you really need to push harder. You need to find that inner strength. You need to find that motivation and that courage to continue on, building off of what you've started. You don't want to, get halfway through a game and just say, it's just too challenging for me. I'm done. You don't want to do that. You've lost. You've essentially lost the game, and that this is no different. Only the thing is, this is your life. This is your, overall your health, and I had this surgery and I lost weight because I wanted to be healthy, and I wanted that part of life that I did not have before, whether it be traveling more efficiently or seeing things, doing things that I've not really done in my life. I wanted to experience life because I was being held back. I was being held back by something I've dealt with my entire life, and I had to make a change. And I think that's what I use most of all whenever I'm faced with adversity, when I'm faced with those temptations. So moving on from that, I'm done lecturing. 7 minutes in, and I'm going to try to end this lecture. You guys understand that by now, at least if you followed my vlogs. So let's talk about the numbers, because again, I'm a numbers guy. I really want to crunch these numbers and see where I am and have that reflect on my progress and where we are, that sort of thing. All right, so on September the 2nd, I believe it was my last vlog, I was down 130 pounds. Fast forward, now it's October 13th, almost 14th, and I am down 142 pounds. So within a month and a week, 2 weeks? No, yeah, almost a month and 2 weeks, I've lost 12 pounds. That's a far cry from losing 20 pounds my first 2 weeks with a pre-op liquid diet. But still, that's pretty rapid. That's maybe 6 weeks, I think. 6 weeks I lost 12 pounds. That's averaging 2 pounds a week. And that's pretty healthy. And I did try to step it up, because I think between my previous vlog and the vlog before that, I was losing at a much slower rate. So I think I actually stepped it up just a little bit more over the last month. And I still run into the challenges with work. Anytime I'm working overnights, I don't lose anything. I really don't. It has to be the circadian rhythm being, in a total malfunction mode. I worked a very rare stretch of day shifts during that time. I didn't lose anything. And I think it's because of the way that our day shifts at work are structured, because my day starts at 5 a.m. and let's just say I'm not a morning person. So in my brain, waking up at like 3:45 in the morning to get ready for work at 5, to me that's almost like working a midnight shift. So didn't lose very much that week, but on the evening shifts where I could moderate my sleep, I got plenty of sleep, I can, for whatever reason, I'm able to really focus that week, whether it be increase in exercise or what have you. That's the week that I noticed the biggest change from day to day. And so there's something to that. I'm gonna review that in the future just to kind of see if I tend to respond better to when I'm on evening shifts versus morning and midnight shifts. But that's pretty interesting to discover that little detail. But again, numbers in terms of the numbers, I've lost about 34% of my starting weight. I am down from a BMI of 60 to a BMI of 40.9. So almost 20 BMI points. In fact, once I drop another 8 pounds or so, I actually fall below what's considered severe obese or morbidly obese. Within my body, I'm still seeing changes. Again, I feel my collarbone, my shoulders are very, very lean. My chest is lean. When I'm lying down, I can feel my rib cage, which I don't think there's ever been a time in my life I actually felt my own rib cage. And as sad as that sounds, it's legit. It's rough. It really is because I've not ever felt my rib cage before. That a lot of folks would be like, "Whoa, that's a little bit weird," and I agree. I completely agree. That's the situation I was in, but now I feel my rib cage. Um, you know, it's all good news. I guess if you want to find something wrong here, is I am starting to notice some looser skin, especially my arms. My the underarm area has some loose skin. Um, Also around my midsection, there's a good bit of loose skin, and some of that's starting to droop, and it's starting to really affect like the image aspect of it all because I'm still losing weight, but I'm still like hanging on to that plumpness, that thickness in the midsection because of there's still fat in there, but there's a lot of hanging skin in there as well. So that's an issue. Legs seem pretty lean. No skin issues with my legs. They're not as surprisingly. Whenever I was at my highest weight, I felt my calves were much more muscular. They seem a little loose these days. So I'm not sure. Maybe I need to have more leg days at the gym. Not my favorite, but I I I had to have lost some lean muscle in there because remember, I was walking around my original weight. When you're walking around and you weigh that much, yeah, you're building muscle in your legs. Now that it's come down, the weight, the numbers come down, the amounts come down. It seems like my legs may have actually gotten weaker. So I need to maybe look at leg day for sure. Um, Otherwise, I'm still sticking to the diet. The calorie count hasn't increased. It hasn't decreased. It's still the same. I'm trying to add in more exercise, but again, that is my biggest issue. Mostly because of when you work rotating shifts on your days off, you just feel exhausted. And also on your days off, you're preparing your sleep schedule for the next stretch. So I have 1 or 2 days where if I'm going from a day shift to a midnight shift, I'll have in that case, 2 to 3 days to go from waking up at 3:45 in the morning to staying up all night, and that really messes with your sleep. It really does, and you just get really fatigued. You get very tired. But I've noticed on the midnight shifts, I do try to incorporate some walks. There's a time in between 2:30 and 4:30 where I got some extra time. I'll try to go outside and get some steps in. I'll try to walk about a half mile to a mile extra. I have my Oculus VR headset, a video game where I'm constantly in motion, it's got a nice calorie counter on there, so I know kind of where I am with how many calories I'm burning based off my size, my age, weight, that sort of thing. Um, so yeah, I mean that's helpful in order to keep track, and it's of the utmost importance that you do keep track. You need to keep track of what what activity you're doing, especially when you do work in an office environment like I do. It's very important because you get kind of lost in the daily grind. You know, you forget. Oh yeah, I haven't done anything today. I've sat here, and even though mentally you may be exhausted, you know, physically, you know, you've got to get those calories burned somehow, and you've got to put forth the effort. And some days it doesn't happen. Some days you're just exhausted. Again, working rotating shifts. Folks in the medical field, they understand. Anyone that does work shift work, you know that it's not easy. It's horrible on the body, and it's tough. Now, will I always be in shift work? Perhaps, but maybe not. I mean, if I advance to a more senior position, then you know I will less frequently be working the rotating shifts. But anyway, I think I'm done rambling. I thought I was gonna have a short vlog here, but I went on a bit of a ramble there at the beginning. Anyway, things are great. I can't complain. I'm about to go on a weekend trip here to the Bahamas again. Just got my COVID booster, and yeah, I'm still trying to shake off the side effects there with that, with the muscle aches and such. But it wasn't too bad. Um, but yeah, just again, stay healthy, stay happy, and again, stay safe out there. All right, bye guys.